Now, I don't know whether you run your own business or you're an entrepreneur of some sort or you're a freelancer and you have all this responsibility to take in terms of running your business and doing the administration aspects of it and doing the marketing stuff. It's not always easy. In fact, it's very much a struggle to keep things going and keep the cash flow coming in, keep things consistent and seeing real success with our businesses for most people. And this is why you see all these statistics out there of businesses, most businesses struggling and failing and stopping within the first, 10 minutes of setting up. And I think a lot of the reason behind why people struggle is simply because we play it too safe. Most people, in being human, when they face the choice between the path of least resistance and the path that is full of challenge but could bring more reward, is going to choose the former, is going to choose the path of easiness. And this is why you get people who, when it comes to their marketing and when it comes to promoting their business and getting new clients and customers, most people tend to do stuff that is easy, like the blogging, like the sending occasional emails, sharing tweets, running that content mill, getting content out. And some people do it very consistently, and that's great. And these are all good things, but the issue is that people tend to stop there. They tend to stop at the fairly easy stuff that doesn't require too much vulnerability and getting your face out there and taking risks. And what we really need to be doing, and this is something I want to talk about a lot more through this channel and through my own content, is that the real juice, the real rewards, if you want to run a successful business, they come in when you take courage, when you start approaching business as something of a risk-taking endeavor. You need to be featuring more risk-taking in your business. This is something that I call courage marketing. Could be something that I've coined, I don't know. I haven't seen the term out there, so it might be something that I've just invented. But when it comes to your marketing, when it comes to brand awareness, when it comes to making new friends and new connections and new clients, when it comes to getting your promotion out there, we need to be more courageous. We need to start living dangerously. As I always say, those of you who are going to succeed, and every time I have succeeded more than anyone else in the past, looking back, is when I've done the things that most others have refused to do. Most others have not wanted to do. They feel icky doing it. Anything that has required a bit of a push, a sense of increased risk, a sense of increased chaos and uncertainty, those are the areas you want to be, folks, because no one else is doing it. No one else is standing on the edge of the cliff and taking the leap. People are walking along like little meek hamsters along the side of the mountain, and no one is taking the leap and flapping their wings and doing the hard stuff. So this is what I coin courage marketing. It is the kind of marketing that involves getting yourself out there, doing the things that feel like more of a risk, approaching people, doing more networking. So I mentioned emailing, and that's good, but you want to be doing more of it and more consistently. You want to be asking bolder questions. You want to be getting in front of people more often, following up more often, and trying to take safe emails and safe DMs and safe tweets into a more one-to-one, interpersonal, intimate communication. So you want to be getting people on the phone. You want to be doing your own videos. You want to be doing more public speaking. You want to be going to events and conferences, and even if it feels awkward, and I'm already sweating just thinking about the idea of going to networking events and meeting new people and trying to find clients and customers and potential mentors and that kind of thing that way. But these are the things that other people don't like to do either. I am terrified at the idea of most of this stuff. This is why I stay at home for the most part. What else does courage marketing involve? And what else does the new way of doing business that I see is becoming more and more relevant as more and more people choose the path of least resistance and crowd each other out? What is courage marketing composed of? Well, all that stuff that I mentioned above, but also aiming higher. So targeting bigger paying clients, people who you feel are out of your league, but you do it anyway. You go up to them anyway and you ask them, and you ask big, and you demand higher fees. And you, because you're demanding higher fees and because you're dealing with these seemingly higher level people, you have to, of course, up your own game in response in order to deliver a good service. And of course, you will do that when you have the added pressure of raising your game in the way that you have. So that's what courage marketing is about as well. It's raising your game, going for the bigger fish, charging higher, matching your own service and your product and everything that you provide to the world and to the market to match those prices, and to really just sort of swallow your pride and allow your ego to be exposed as well by pushing yourself up there and really exposing yourself at higher levels. So again, most people are focused on doing the easy stuff, the stuff that requires a bit of a push, yes, and it's very good to be doing a lot of these things like sharing content and tweeting and getting on Facebook and interacting a little bit here and there. But most people don't take that second tier risk, which is to really start communicating with someone, and not just a one-off, but having ongoing conversations with people with the view to turning that into a deeper relationship and ideally some kind of a sale or a deal landed. Courage marketing is about calling someone up and feeling the fear but doing it anyway, and getting someone to go out for lunch with you and you buying them lunch and you being more proactive inside your Rolodex. That old-fashioned thing that we call a Rolodex. No one has a Rolodex anymore because they're too busy trying to build a newsletter and have rather superficial, flat relationships with about 5,000 people, rather than looking deeper and having deeper conversations with people and seeing the humanity that's out there and starting to try and find a way to connect with real people at a real, authentic, I know this authentic word's kind of annoying, but an authentic level. Getting yourself out there and starting to find a way to enjoy that. When people start to sense that you are out to make a friend rather than to have a agenda of creating some sort of a devious deal, which kind of is what it is about, but you've got to have that friendship element to it, and you want to have people involved in your life who you genuinely do care about and you want to have relationships with. Go out there and take the risk that no one else is taking. By taking those risks, by getting yourself on video, by getting yourself on live streams, all that stuff that requires a little bit of vulnerability. And I'm not talking about the vulnerability of telling every aspect of your life and, you know, breaking into tears every time you get on a video. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about just getting to the truth, telling your story as it is, revealing perhaps some of the struggles that you've been through and how things have changed, and talking about interesting stories that people connect with, that kind of stuff. I know that I'm going all over the place here, but hopefully you'll be able to look back over this list and formulate a sense of what you could be doing and how this kind of stuff could apply to you. And for those of you who are terrified at the idea of taking it up a notch and doing a little bit more out there forms of marketing, and the thing about like this kind of marketing is that it's a lot more human, and actually it's a lot more appealing for many, as long as you can kind of push into that fray and get out of that mindset that you need to be pumping out content that everyone else is also sharing, and starting to take an interest in relationships again, starting to take an interest in genuinely finding other people interesting and engaging in conversations with them. It's actually a lot more sort of ethically easier to handle, and also just a lot more enjoyable once you sort of get into the flow of that stuff. But for those of you like me still in many aspects of this stuff, the networking I hate, but I know that I need to do more of it. For those of you who are terrified of that, I'm actually just wrapping up a program right now which takes you from A to Z, or Z, over 6 weeks. I think I'm going to make it that 6-week program whereby every day you respond to a prompt that I put out that just pushes you out of your comfort zone a little bit and doing things that get you a little bit more confident with interacting with people and dealing with possible rejection, connecting with people, getting people on the phone, just little things. It's not going to be horrendous. It's not getting you on a stage yet, but little things that start developing that habit of dealing with the flinch of life and dealing with that barrier that a lot of us face and that a lot of us bounce up against because we're too scared to face that risk of rejection. Just very in small pieces, a sort of desensitization program that I'm just about to wrap up, and as of the time of this filming, which is early June 2019, this program should be up and running on my site alexmathers.net within a month or two. So keep your eyes out for that. Make sure that you're subscribed to this channel. Make sure that you have subscribed to my newsletter over at alexmathers.net to make sure that you get access to that program. It's going to change your life. I think there's a ton of potential in business for people who are willing to do some courage marketing, which is to get your brand out there in ways that no one else dares to do. And in so doing, you will take your business and your own self-confidence, your own social freedom, your own ability to deal with rejection to a stratospheric level. So I'm really looking forward to sharing that with you guys. If you're interested to hear more and you've got questions about this stuff, do get in touch. Subscribe to this. Hit the smashy like button below if you found this useful, and make sure that you're logged in for tomorrow's video.